Welcome back.
They run racing tires here. Oh, this thing sounds mean. I wish there was a cockpit camera. Oh man, there's 11 here. Poor 11. Yeah, this thing's gonna dust this championship. Holy. There should be like a mercy time where if you're so far ahead after a couple laps, they just end the race. I can't remember what race we got this as a prize car from, but this was perfect for this event. This thing drives great. It sounds good too. 8,500 RPM red line. It's pretty spicy as well. Coming with racing tires is very, very nice. I can just send this through basically full throttle. Car doesn't care. I tell you what, 5-lap race. My goal, I want to lap somebody. How good this car is compared to everybody else. Let's go. I might be able to do it. I don't know. Oh yeah, that was good through there. Honestly, if I keep pushing, we might actually have a shot at lapping them. Man, this thing handles great. I can't wait to get into more of the quicker race cars and stuff later to drive, because they just stick to the road. And I feel like a lot of these cars, you can really kind of feel feel when you're on the limit better than non-race tires. You know, like the comfort tires, you can't feel anything. You're just kind of sliding around all the time anyway. But the sports tires, I feel like I'm on the limit, but then the line between being right on the edge of the limit of grip and then overstepping is very hard to find with just the controller. You know what I mean? So like, I could be losing the back end a little bit, and depending on the car, I could probably hold it. Like that Alfa Romeo that I drove for the one event, I could hold that, and that felt pretty good. But feels like if that had all these racing slick tires, I can feel the understeer, I can feel everything it's doing. Like this thing, I can throw it around and it'll do what I want. It's just so much more grip. And I guess it would be different if I was like racing competitive cars and stuff like that too, right? Like I'd probably be having to take different lines and be struggling a bit more, but 5 whole laps of this is a bit much, in my opinion, but Autumn Ring's a decent track. I don't think it's a top tier track for me, but it's not a bottom tier either. Good middle of the road. There's some parts that flow really well, like the first sector feels great in this thing, and this part feels good, and then after that I'm like, I could do a different track, I think. I think it depends a lot on like what you're driving too. There's some cars that they flow perfectly through here, and others that are horrible. So we're on 3 laps down, and we still have a lot of track to make up if we're going to try and lap these guys. So maybe we won't have the chance to lap them, but I'm still trying. We are setting quicker and quicker laps. We went from 135 to 126, and then went from a 126 to a 126.9, so I actually went slower on the second lap. And I might go slower on this lap based on how I took that corner, because that was not very good. We got a 47-second lead. Yeah, so we're a little over half a lap lead right now. I mean, on the track map, it looks like they have a huge gap between me and last place. But you gotta remember that this is like the fastest flowing part of the track, right? So that gap is gonna look huge here until we're right on it, I think. Oh, the understeer's terrible through there. Yeah, I don't think we're lapping anybody, but it might just be 10 seconds short. Yeah, I think we're like a lap short of lapping them all. But we're consistent. We're in the 126s 3 laps in a row, so let's send it through here. Yeah, they're only a couple corners ahead. Yeah, we don't got it. Well, that was a good effort. Yeah, but 22 seconds off, I think. Sending it through there, trying to get as close as I could, right on the edge. Yeah, one more lap and we'd have half the field, it looks like. That was a fun race. I like this car. This thing drives pretty good. Man, if I had some racing mediums or some racing softs, we would have been right in the pocket. We've been right up there. All right. Deep Forest. I think this one's going to be even better for our car. Let's let the tires heat off the beginning here. Get them all warmed up. That's a lot more kind of high-speed sections here, and that's where this car's not going to be as crazy compared to the other cars, because we can't really use the tire advantage. Like, this thing's a race car, so it's got way better grip naturally, but it's also got the race car tires, which give it a ton of grip too, right? And the lightweight, but it's not a ton of power. It's only 200 horsepower, I think, something like that. So it's not crazy power. It's a good power to weight, but when we're all moving at high speed, you know, you're not really going to make up a lot of time unless you have a ton of power. But it's corners like this where we're going to fly in here. Set ourselves up beautifully for this part and really be able to hug that line on the inside. That's where this section here, we're gonna make up a ton of time. Yeah, this whole section of the track, I love this track. See how much of a lead we have once they pass the start finish here. I don't think there's any way we're lapping anybody here today, but we almost have a whole straightaway length. That's pretty good. concentrating so hard I forgot to check the gap to the car behind when it came out. Got a little sideways over the bump. That was spicy. This section of the track is so fun. I like that there's extra paving there, and I just rip the pavement every time because I just don't give a shit, but it just flows so well. In almost every car, I don't think I've gone or taken a car through there that I haven't liked how it drove. In either direction, really. Alright, last lap. We had about a straightaways lead, maybe a little bit less than a straight. We got 24 seconds right now. And we took a 1:27 lap time, so it looks like we should be able to get a half a lap on second place, so that's not too bad. But they're all kind of two big packs sorted out there, so. Lapping anybody, but we're having a good run in this thing. Glad I kept this and didn't sell it for the $7 grand or whatever I would have got. Let's see if we can keep it down here. Nope, got a little airborne. That's all right though. Take the wide outside line, throw it in. Need to stay in third for that, I think. Alright, that felt good. Man, I'm just really enjoying this game, honestly. There's some parts I don't like about the career mode. It doesn't have the same kind of aura that GT4 had. I love the map menu in GT4, like the map menu, the like kind of overworld, if that makes sense. I like the different used car dealers. I like all that stuff. The amount of cars that were in that game, crazy. And I know a lot of them were like Skyline variants. There's like 30 Skyline variants, but at the same time, you know, this game, we got Ferrari, we got Lamborghini in here. Not all the cars, but some of them, some of the important ones. I just don't like how expensive every car is here compared to how much you get from payouts. Like, it seems like the special events pay good money, but you know, I don't want to have to buy a separate car for every single event. Like, I've used the Buick Special for 2 or 3 events, and that's kind of it. There's not really a lot of other cars that I've been able to use for multiple events that aren't like a Sunday Cup type of event, if that makes sense. So, you know, you don't get a lot of economy out of just these regular races, but then at the same time we're you know, we're forced to buy certain cars. Like, I gotta buy a sports truck, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy, you know, a 70s UK lightweight cup car. And it's like, well, that's not really the type of car that I normally drive, so I don't know how often I'm gonna really use that elsewhere, right? So I don't mind like paying a bunch of money and buying a car if I'm gonna use it in a couple events, right? Get my money's worth. But at the same time, like, a lot of those cars, I want to upgrade them. I want to like make it feel like it's progressing. You know, put power into it, get some grip to it, all that kind of stuff, and then really race it. You know, and if a racing modification's if a racing modification's a couple $100,000, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do that to many cars, if any. If I'm going to keep buying cars for career mode. So that's kind of my only criticism here. A lot of the prize cars that you got from GT4 sell for good money, and early on too, like the Toyota RSC rally car, and you could use that if you wanted to. When I was a kid, I used that thing all the time. It handled great, it was fast. Strap a big turbo on it, and you're doing pretty good for kind of the early to mid game, honestly. You know, you could use that for almost all of the rally events up until the hard events, and that would just carry you. So you weren't spending a ton of money on cars, you're just upgrading that one a little bit, and kind of going from there type of deal. So feel like this game's career mode kind of lacks that car, if that makes sense. Like I bought the pace car and stuff, which was used, and then put money into it for the Supercar Festival, which is kind of cool to use that for that. But like it's not quick enough to win the Gran Turismo championship. So, you know, I've used it for one event, and that's pretty much it. I was hoping to use it for rally events, but I can't put snow tires on it. So, you know, that's probably my only criticism of the game so far. I like how it looks. It handles pretty decently. Some of the special events are pretty fun. But, yeah, it's kind of my review while doing the last couple laps.